Hey, sister, does this ever happen to you? You suddenly feel a sense of anxiety and you're not sure why or where it came from. You don't even know what to think about it. You're trying to figure out what in the world happened. You were fine 1 minute and the next few minutes or more, you're just all over the place and you're literally feeling like you don't know what to do next and you are probably even close to having a bit of a panic attack. Well, my sister, that happened to me not too long ago. And I'm telling you right now, there is something so magical, well, actually not magical, supernatural and amazing about the way I discovered that in less than 5 minutes, I was able to get back my calm. And it worked. I mean, I was like, what? And this is not the first time I've done this. This time, though, I actually recognized that it was anxiety because I've been more, attentive to my feelings, my emotions, and just studying out my patterns more lately so that I can get to know myself better in that sense and get to know what triggers things that worry me, triggers my worries, things like that. So I recently figured out, okay, this is an anxiety moment, okay? And I wasn't even sure what was going on. So I'm going to share with you today what I did that took less than 5 minutes to get my calm and my peace back in my mind and my heart. So, are you ready? All right, let's do it.
Are you so busy and overwhelmed that you can't get enough time to connect with God? Are distractions robbing you of your time with Jesus? Is your motivation to spend time in the Word just not what it used to be? Do you want to be more consistent in your personal Bible study? Welcome home, sister. I'm Rosie, a mom, wife, teacher, and devoted disciple of Jesus. And like you, I struggled to stay consistent with my Bible study. When life got busy, I felt so overwhelmed that spending time in God's Word was no longer a priority. In my hardest seasons of life, my motivation to be in the Bible grew weak. I lost my convictions and walked away from God. But by His grace, my faith was restored, and with a conviction to never take God's Word for granted again. If you're tired of letting the enemy steal away your time, energy, focus, and motivation, then sister, this podcast is for you. So go reheat your coffee, dust off your journal and Bible, and get ready to take back your time.
So, when I figured out what happened, what it was, I didn't know exactly what the problem was, but I knew I was having a bit of an anxiety moment, like big time. Okay, and mind you, I did meet with a psychiatrist a couple years ago who said that she thinks that I might have some anxiety disorder, but it was on virtual. I never really, because, I went to her and said, I think I have ADHD. And she was like, well, check first to see if it's anxiety. So she was not really sure. So there is a possibility that there's something there because it does run in my family. Okay. So I might actually have an anxiety disorder. I know I definitely had postpartum anxiety for 3 months, but I definitely did not know that's what it was until several months later. So it's very possible. And, when I have a lot going on in my life, and when I don't write things down, when it's a lot and I don't write things down, like what I need to do or have a plan, that's when it gets worse. Okay. And I do have ADHD. And so it gets even worse for people who have ADHD. So if you have ADHD, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you are someone who suffers from anxiety or even just has multiple moments of anxiety, you know what I mean. So it is not an easy moment. It's hard to be present for the things that you need to do that day. So here's what you do. All right. What I did specifically, and again, you may or may not live in this type of weather. You may have to do it a little differently. But I live in South Florida and the weather is pretty stable as far as warm or at least not too cold. So I told my husband and I said, listen, I'm having a bit of a moment. I'm having an anxiety. I don't know what's going on. I said, I need to go step outside for a second just to let you know. He's like, oh, okay. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah. I'm just going to go outside. Okay, great. So number one, if you have, a spouse or you have kids, you want to make sure you communicate that you're going to step away for at least a few minutes. You don't want to just disappear. Okay. Communication is very important. Okay. And do this as soon as possible. I know that's not always feasible to do it right away, where you step outside or you step out in another room. That's another possibility in another room. And so anyway, that's something that, because I was just thinking, literally my mind went somewhere else. Sorry. I was actually just thinking when you go to a room, you could, if it's messy, you could actually just close your eyes and lay on the bed or sit down on the couch. Because if I know if you're like me, if it's the end of the week and your room is not, I know my room is not at its best, and I'm doing some cleaning that weekend. But that's a besides the point. But if you're going if you're gonna do what I did, I stepped outside and I have a hammock outside, which is great. I also have chairs. So if I didn't have a hammock, I would go on a chair. And I do go on my chair many times when I go out to meditate and just listen to music, and listen to worship instrumentals on YouTube channel. And then I just meditate. So I usually just sit on the chair, but I happen to have my hammock available. And so I laid on the hammock. The hammock is, when I face up, it faces some tree branches. So I looked up in that moment, and I basically just, laid there and said, okay, Lord, I started breathing, first of all, so that's number three, sorry. So go to the room, whatever else, sit down or lie down, that's number two. And then, either look up if you're, something that calms you, or close your eyes, whichever of the two is better. I was looking at something that calmed me, which was the tree branches, because I love nature. So then I just kind of started talking to God, and I started also breathing more deeply, intentionally at the same time. So I started breathing deeply in and out, just very deep. Even as I think about it, I'm like, oh, it makes me want to breathe deep. And then I started talking to God, and I didn't necessarily say I'm going to pray or I'm going to, read a verse, nothing. I just wanted to talk to God. And I started talking to God, and I just said, Lord, I don't know what I'm feeling right now, and I just feel all over the place. I'm feeling anxious, maybe overwhelmed, and I need you. I need you in my life, and I know you're in my life, but I need you to calm me in this moment, step in and give me peace, surround me and hug me with your presence, and help me to find that peace and that calm that I crave right now. And I asked him, and I kept breathing. And I just looked at the sky, and I just noticed the tree branches more. And if you're closing your eyes, you can picture a place you want to be, whether it's bathing in a beautiful waterfall, or sitting under your favorite in a garden, a beautiful garden, wherever it is that you want to be. You can picture that when you close your eyes. So, and I just started admiring what was in front of me, and I started being present. And that is for sure something that I remember thinking, man, I need to be present more often. Because that is something that can cause anxiety, and not just the only thing, but it can contribute to having moments of anxiety. And so, or heightened moments of anxiety. So what I did, I just started looking at what was around me, and just taking it in and looking at the details and noticing it. And then just, that's where I started feeling grateful, actually. I was like, wow, God, thank you for this beautiful scenery I have right now in front of me. Thank you for helping me think of these things, helping me your creation. This is beautiful. Thank you for this moment where I can take some time to breathe. Thank you for hugging me and holding me. At that moment, I was already feeling his presence or feeling his hug. And it just was so wonderful. It was perfect. And after that, I got up. So it took less than 5 minutes. I know it took less than 5 minutes for sure. And then I got up and I said, okay, amen. I'm going back in. It's going to be great. So I went in the house, and I was already feeling much better. Much, much better. Now, it wasn't completely perfect, but I was in a so much better place. And oh my goodness, from that point on, the rest of the day went smoothly. I did not have anxious moments again, not even close. I felt my body more relaxed. I was just in a much bigger state of calm than than the chaos I had in my mind and in my heart. I wasn't even sure what was going on. So in less than 5 minutes, my sister, you can find that calm. And you know what the key ingredient right there is? Being with God. I mean, your environment, all the things you have to do is very important, or even when you close your eyes and you think of the place you want to be in and being present, that's all very important. But be in the presence of God. Ask God, pray to God, ask him, talk to him, or just spill your guts to him. Literally, just, it's fine. He understands. That's what he's there for. That's what he's there for, my sister. And I talk about Bible study routines, but one of the things that a Bible routine can help you with and can encourage you when you're in your Word, when you're praying, when you've got your morning, and that's really when I find my calm. When I do it in the mornings. This was a Saturday, and this happened on a Saturday on a weekend. I had a lot of catching up to do in my house and some spring cleaning in an area, just a lot of things that I did not really organize my day early, in advance, and that is probably one of the reasons why it got to that point. But for the most part, like when I start my day with God, I don't have those moments. It's rare. But I remember that day I didn't really have a quality time with God. I started working right away. I did eventually read a devotional. I did pray, say a quick prayer, but I didn't really start right away with God. And I noticed that connection because when I do, and it's rare that I do it, I always put God for almost always to God first and then everything else. But there's days I'm like, oh my gosh, I really got to get this going. And I get that. We have those days, but be careful because when you do have those days, you got to make sure you really take time to also just be calm before God because your day might get more hectic. So that's my piece of advice to you. And as your spiritual growth coach and mentor, and mindset coach. I'm actually a certified mindset coach. I don't know if y'all knew that, but there's a lot of things I know about why our minds get to this point and how, just kind of like, some of our behaviors, why they are the way they are, and how you can really shift those things. And I really apply them to our Christianity, our walk, our spiritual walk, our spiritual tendencies that we should be going towards. And so I can help you, sister. Look, if you are stuck right now and you're like, look, I want to find that peace, that calm. I want to feel connected with God because really that's what brings it, right? Feeling a deep connection with God, hearing from Him, feeling and being in His presence. That calm and that peace that only God can give you comes through a Bible study routine. And a Bible study routine includes more than just reading the Bible, okay? And it becomes a habit. And sometimes you need a little help. You all need a little help. We all need a little help. So you need a little help with that. Just go to theintentionalchristianwoman.com, book a call with me today. You can just 10 minutes. I will talk to you. We will figure out what you need. And we have a plan. I have a plan. I'll have a plan for you. There's a 4-step process. And even just if you did the first step, it will get you so far. Okay. So book a call with me for a free 10-minute coaching call, 10-minute discovery call. And, or if you're ready right away, just book the 60-minute Take Back Your Time Bible study, Take Back Your Time coaching call where I can help you start a consistent Bible study routine and help you figure out the right times that you can do this, the crevices of your day, whether it's in the morning, during lunch, in the evening, usually the most popular times. But of course, one size doesn't fit all. So we get to work on that together, whatever works best for you. All right, my sister? Go to theintentionalchristianwoman.com to book that call with me. And if you want community, you want prayer, you want to be in touch with me, you want to get to know me a little better, please join our Facebook community. It's completely free and it's growing and it's just the place that I love to be in every day. I love it. All right. So that place is bit.ly/let's be intentional. That's bit.ly/let's be intentional, and you can just join there. All right, my sister. All right, I hope to see you in the community. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.
Hey sister, if this episode encouraged or blessed you in some way, and the best thing you can do is share it with a friend. Also, I would love it if you join me in my Facebook community, Intentional Bible Study for Christian Women. There is an amazing sisterhood encouraging one another and praying for each other. And sister, if you've ever thought about connecting deeper with God through a consistent, powerful, and uniquely designed Bible study routine that works just for you and your time needs, look no further because I am your mentor and friend and your coach, and I can help you. All you need to do is write me at coachwithrosie@gmail.com. You can connect with me there, or you can check out theintentionalchristianwoman.com for more details. Lastly, if you haven't done so yet, I would invite you to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. This is the way that I know this show is blessing you. My sister, I love you. Know that I'm praying for you, and I will see you in the next one.